Certainly when I first started thinking about this play about last year, I started thinking about our current economic situation and the Great Recession. Willie lives in a world of dreams. He doesn't seem to want to admit exactly who he is. And that's certainly part of the tragedy of this play, and it's part of the tragedy of what happened to us a few years ago as a whole nation of people who didn't want to see who they were and instead used a lot of credit and a lot of big houses to sort of live in a dream world of that. And we're paying the price for that now. And I think that's what this play's about to a large extent, is the necessity of seeing who you really are, both as a person and maybe for us as a country.
You know, one of the fascinating things about Willie is he's, as somebody put it to me the other day, he's such a loser. But he's also remarkably strong in the sense of, in spite of all his defeats, in spite of all his failures, in all of his attempts to succeed, to be rich, whatever it might be, he never makes it. But yet he gets up the next day and he does it all over again. He's relentless. And, you know, we've all had days like that where we just keep going, you know, because really, what else do you do? In some sense, he is one of the bravest characters I've ever played. He just won't stop until the end. Then he does a big stop.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's right. Spoiler alert.
One of the things I think to notice as you're watching it is just the difference between things that are bright and things that are dark and dingy. We're playing a lot with that in terms of how Willie sees his present life and how Willie sees the past that he keeps on escaping into.
There's a lot of interesting ways to tell time between present and past that'll go to work in this play. The set's very monochromatic, so I'm hoping to add and change the texture in the set and the color to mark time.
Well, for this show, it's very much about the story that the actors are telling. So anything that I included or throw at them, I want to amplify their performance, not hinder it. But at the end of the day, less is more for this production. I didn't want to put anything on them. I wanted them to be the stars of it. So very simple, pared down, but still in the right period. When you look at that person, you see the character. You know, when you look at head to toe, whether it's their makeup that they're wearing or the hair or even the costume when you get to Amanda, that they're that character. You don't see Richard Scott playing Willie Loman, you just see Willie Loman.
I don't think it's all doom and gloom. It's called Death of a Salesman, and it's about the salesman, and he dies. It's about Willie. Willie's on stage a lot of the time, but the story's really about Biff, his oldest son, and what he sees happening, and perhaps the changes that he's able to make in his life, and the journey that he goes through in learning a lesson from what's happening to his father. So I think that's where you see the brightness and the hope for something outside of what's happened to Willie.